Hello, everybody. Once again, I am here with you for the last unit, and basically, solid state physics. Last unit is free electron theory of metals are to be there. Now, basically, in 3 units, we have seen related to how the crystal is going to be formed, crystallography, how it is to be there, what is the bonding nature in between the atoms are to be there, and what are the thermal properties in detail we have seen. Now we are looking for the metals and how the electrons behavior there in the metals are to be there. First of all, we have to understand what is to be as an properties of the metals, and that is called to be as an outstanding properties of metals are to be there. Now, first of all, let's see what are these outstanding properties of metals are to be there. In general, we are aware about that metals are good conductors, and to be as and they are very good conductors as far as they are having the solid structure, definite shape is to be there, and the number of things which is to be as an comes with these metals are to be there. Now, first of all, what exactly these properties are there, and although this is to be very much simple point, but for 5 marks, the 5 points you these 5 points will give you 5 marks, and that's why these outstanding properties of metals, in which the first basic property is to be high electrical and thermal conductivity. म्हणजे इलेक्ट्रिकला मेटल जो आहे तो गुड कंडक्टर आहे. वी आर अवेअर अबाउट दॅट कंडक्टर्स, इन्सुलेटर्स अँड सेमीकंडक्टर्स. मेटल्स आर द गुड कंडक्टर्स. इलेक्ट्रिकल म्हणजे इलेक्ट्रॉन कॅन ट्रान्सफर फ्रॉम metals very easily, and not only electrons, but also the thermal energy is also going to be transferred. म्हणजे temperature is also going to be transferred in these metals are to be there, and that's why we can say these metals have electrical and thermal conductivity, high electrical and thermal conductivity is to be there. Again, the second point, this is to be as an first one, and second one is to be, again we are aware about that it obeys the Ohm's law. And what is the Ohm's law? Whatever the input voltage is given, output current will be passing is to be there. How much amount of voltage is given, that much amount of current will be passing through the metals are to be there. In this in the steady state, Ohm's law is going to be obeyed, and that is I is directly proportional to E, that is to be as an whatever the electric field is given to the metal, that amount of current will be transferred from the metals is to be there, and that is nothing but to be Ohm's law is going to be obeyed. Ohm's law हा हे metals जे आहेत ते फॉलो करतात, आणि हेच त्याच्यामध्ये आणखीन एक त्याची प्रॉपर्टी म्हणून ओळखल्या जाते. अगेन, looking forward to be as an basically the another one property is to be as an resistivity above the d by temperature is proportional to the absolute temperature. Now, what exactly the resistivity, that is very much important factor. Resistance means opposing the electrons or the current, not allowed the electrons to pass through it, and this resistivity is to be related with the d-bias temperature. When the as far as the resistivity above the d-bias temperature is proportional to the absolute temperature, and that is somehow resistivity is directly proportional to the temperature. In that case is absolute temperature is to be there. This is one another property as far as the metals are going to be concerned. Again, moving forward, another one, at low temperature the resistivity of the metals is proportional to the fifth power of the absolute temperature. It is quite interesting. म्हणजे जेव्हा लो टेम्परेचर आहे, मेटलला समजा लो टेम्परेचर आहे, ॲट लो टेम्परेचर द रेजिस्टिव्हिटी ऑफ द मेटल्स, म्हणजे ही जी रेजिस्टिव्हिटी आहे मेटलची, म्हणजे अलाउड न करणं इलेक्ट्रॉन्सला पास होणं, ही कशी असते? ही रेजिस्टिव्हिटी इज डायरेक्ट प्रोपोर्शनल टू द टी टू द पॉवर 5. ॲब्सोल्यूट टेम्परेचरच्या 5 पट सॉरी पॉवर त्याचा 5 ह्या पटीमध्ये असते, आणि त्याच्यामुळे ही जी रेजिस्टिव्हिटी आहे, पण हे कधी? फॉर द लो टेम्परेचर. ॲज फॉर ॲज फॉर most metals, the another one property is to be, for most of the metals the resistivity is inversely proportional to the pressure. And in general also we are aware about that this resistivity is inversely proportional to the pressure. म्हणजे जेवढ्या प्रमाणात प्रेशर जास्त असेल रेजिस्टिव्हिटी तेवढी त्याच्यामध्ये कमी व्हायला लागेल, आणि जेवढं प्रेशर कमी राहील त्या प्रमाणात रेजिस्टिव्हिटी इज गोइंग टू बी इन्क्रीज in the as far as the metals are going to be concerned. This is how the properties of the metals are to be there, and basically these properties are very much important to understand while the metals, if we want to study the metals in detail. Now another one case where it is to be as an uh, another property is Wade and French law. Now Wade and French law is related with the, that is also we will see in detail. Wade and French law is basically for the related with the thermal and the electrical conductivity part is to be there, and it is somehow d bias temperature, the ratio of the thermal and the electrical conductivity is to be nothing but to be Wade and French relationship is to be there. वाइड अँड फ्रेंच रिलेशन जे काय आहे हे बेसिकली हा थर्मल आणि इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिव्हिटीचा रेशो जो आहे इट इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू द ॲब्सोल्यूट टेम्परेचर. म्हणजे ह्याचा जो रेशो असतो तो डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द टेम्परेचर असते किंवा ॲब्सोल्यूट टेम्परेचर असते, आणि ह्यालाच वाईडमन फ्रेंच रिलेशन म्हणतात. काय कारण वाईडमन आणि फ्रेंच ह्यांनी हा बेसिकली डिफाईन केलं आहे किंवा त्यांनी तो शोध लावला, म्हणून ह्याला वाईडमन अँड फ्रेंच रिलेशन असं म्हणतात. आणि ह्याच्यामध्ये थर्मल कंडक्टिव्हिटी अपॉन द इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिव्हिटी इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द ॲब्सोल्यूट टेम्परेचर हे रिलेशनशिप असते. आणि ॲज फॉर ॲज अनदर पार्ट इज सपोज कन्सर्न, जर ह्याच्यामध्ये आणखीन ॲडिशनली जर बघायचं राहिलं तर सुपर कंडक्टिव्हिटी दॅट इज ॲट ॲब्सोल्यूट झिरो द रेजिस्टिव्हिटी टेंड्स टुवर्ड्स झिरो. आणि आणखीन एक जी काय आहे ॲट ॲब्सोल्यूट झिरो द रेजिस्टिव्हिटी टेंड्स टू दी झिरो. This is one another property for the metals are to be there. So this is somehow the important parameters or the properties of the metals are to be there. We can see any type of the metal shows the such type of the properties are to be there, and that's why it is called outstanding properties of metals are to be there. And this is the first part to about start with this case, and thanks for joining. Be at home and be safe.